What was the grimiest thing your friend ever did to you?
I was friends with this lady in our neighborhood, and her daughter and my daughter were friends, and they hung out together all the time. They would come over to my house and they'd swim in the pool. They would go to her house and you know, spend the night. Okay, like normal kid shit. Well, her husband had done some work on my car, and I was paying him back for that. And I had asked, hey, how much more money do I owe you for the car? And she pulls out a notebook, and it was full of shit. And I'm looking, and I was like, what? So turns out she was actually charging me for everything my kid ate when my kid was visiting with her kid. So if she took them out to dinner, I got charged. If she gave her a snack, I got charged. If she gave her a juice, I got charged.
Me and her were talking to these two dudes that were homeboys. And they stayed in her area where she lived, and I stayed like maybe 15 minutes away. They would pick her up, or she would pick them up, and they would come over into my apartments and we would chill in the car. I was catching feelings for the dude, but he would stop talking to me, so I wasn't entertaining it no more. So her and the other boys start talking, and we were planning on going to a Miami trip for graduation. She tried to hide that she was talking to the dude that I had catch feelings for. And yeah, me and her got into an argument one day, and she was calling me a hoe and calling me out my name. And then I told her that she didn't hear me say nothing about her fucking on somebody that I had feelings for, and she got mad. Part two. So we're arguing, and she's calling me out my name. She's calling me a hoe, and I told her that she didn't hear me say nothing to her about her fucking on someone that I had feelings for and still had feelings for at the time. She goes, I know you're not talking about C because he never had feelings for you. Me and him been fucking with each other ever since the second time that we all met up. So she was basically keeping this a secret from me from like all the way from like last year, and I was upset and I didn't have time for it anymore, so I stopped becoming friends with her. Then I had to find out from other people that she was talking shit about me behind my back, and the only reason why she was my friend is because I was able to go out places with her and stuff like that, and shit had me sleep. Like,
I was friends with this girl way back when, and we got really close. We were like best friends, and I woke up one morning after like us partying and stuff and found her in bed with my fucking ex-boyfriend. And she tried to claim and play it off that they didn't do anything. Like, I'm not stupid. So, yeah, needless to say, we're not friends anymore, and I ain't with that dude.
Man, I've been waiting for this one. So I had a friend in high school, and she was pregnant. She had the ins and outs with her mom, and she said her mom threw her down the stairs and everything, and she was pregnant. And she said she was pregnant with a little boy. So I decided to let her live in my apartment rent-free. I worked. She stayed home, and because she was my best friend, so I wanted to take care of her. We took pictures and everything, like holding her belly, me and my 4 other best friends. And then when it came down to the baby shower, she's like, what are y'all doing? I'm not pregnant. 7 months she did this to me, and years later never apologized or anything. And then that same friend, it was like a web of lies. She came and she told us that she was Mexican and she was from Chula Vista and all this stuff. It ended, and her parents were her adoptive parents. It turns out that she was actually white, and those were her real parents, and they were nice people.
All right, unfortunately, I'm pretty sure I win this one, but it's going to have to be in 2 parts. I've already tried to record it in one. It's not happening, but stick around because it's juicy. So I used to live with my best friend, her husband, and their 3 kids. I loved the shit out of this woman. I thought she was my soulmate in friend form. All 3 of her kids referred to me as Aunt Brandy. rented out a room in their basement from them. One night I was spending the night with my boyfriend at the time, who would later on turn out to be my husband, and I got a call from her in the middle of the night, which never happens, so of course I answered. I picked up and she's just crying hysterically. I'm like, oh my God, babe, what's going on? She's like, oh, I just found out my husband's cheating on me, which is not the first time that she had found something like that out. And he turns out he was cheating on her with his cousin's wife, and she wanted to know if he was also sleeping with me. Come back for part 2. Here goes part 2. So again, she asked me if I had also been sleeping with him, and I assured her that that was not the case. I was kind of offended that she would even consider asking in the first place, but turns out he was sleeping with her other best friend, who happened to be his cousin's wife. So I told her, I was like, look, he's obviously done this shit before. He might do it again. If you want to, I'll help you get out of the situation. You and I will get a little place. We'll raise these kids together. We will 2 moms the shit out of this if you want to. Apparently, that was the wrong thing to say, because 2 weeks later, they sat me down and told me that they were looking for a smaller house and they wouldn't have room for me. I had to use all the birthday money I had saved up to move out into a new apartment with a complete stranger. Not only did they not move out of that house, but she slowly dropped all communication with me, wouldn't talk to me unless I reached out first. But guess who she do still talk to? Yeah, the woman her husband cheated on her with. I'm salty.
The grimiest thing a female ever did to me, as my best friend, was be there when I gave birth to my child. Was physically there next to me, holding my hand. Everything was there with me, my mom, my grandma, and my family. That special moment, thinking that she's my best friend and this is right and friends should do this together type of thing. Yeah, she decided to go and talk smack about me behind my back to people that didn't like me because who I was dating, because I'm married to my husband now, and they was mad because they couldn't have him. So the girls that wanted to be with my husband, she decided to be their friends and smash talk my child and say my baby is ugly and just my baby is dusty. Oh, the baby gonna come out looking dusty. Just made fun of my child and made fun of me.
I've told this story a lot, but never on the internet. So, and I want to say my freshman year of high school, I had a longtime friend out me as gay to our entire friend group. Our friend group at the evangelical Christian school that we had been attending since kindergarten. He showed them the text where I came out to him as gay and then asked him on a date. So yeah, it was a pretty homophobic environment and not the best place to be a gay black kid. But one of the most important details of this story is that I'm not gay. The texts were fake. He faked the texts and showed them to all of our friends. And I had to come back into school not knowing any of this had happened. And my friends are coming up to me talking about like, bro, what you doing? And also, I always knew, no, the fuck you didn't. And low-key looking back, how dare you think that if I was gay that he would be my type? You think I'm that basic? For real?
The grimiest thing any of my friends have ever done to me was I housed her and her 2 children, and get this, house, as in give up my bed, give up my living room, my kitchen, and she gonna turn around, get her shit together, blah, blah, blah. End of the story, she gets her shit together, then I lose my apartment. I say, hey, I need somewhere to stay. She gonna say no. I like my space. I can't deal with people living with me. Like, bitch, did I not just sacrifice my whole house to let you live in my house? Did I not be late on my rent because I had to scrounge up the money because I was not making you pay rent? End of the story, we not even friends right now. On a whole different story. Whole different thing that happened. We not even friends. But she stayed in my house for free and then didn't let me stay at hers.
It was on a Friday, and me and my friends were drinking. We had been planning to go skating as we did every Friday. But this Friday, I drank a little too much. They didn't have a car to drive skating, so they needed me to go because my boyfriend at the time was not going to allow them to drive the car without me. They both held me, one on one arm and one on the other, to walk out to the car. Like, we're going skating. When they get outside, they drop me in the grass, face down. Both of them got in my car and left and went skating. Once they got to the skating rink, they called my boyfriend at the time and told him to go look in the front yard because I was laying out there. Now, if that's not dirty. Part 2. So my boyfriend looked for the spare key because he was going to steal the car back and not tell them. But he wasn't successful with finding the spare key. And at the time, it was only pagers. There were no cell phones. So once they called again, he told them that he reported the car stolen. Now they was all spazzing out like, what the fuck? We said we had it. We gonna bring it back. Why would you do that? I was still passed out drunk. So the next morning, he wakes me up and told me what happened. I was like, what in the hell? And he said, now they scared to bring the car back because I told them it was stolen. They just kept calling me, apologizing. They did eventually bring the car back, and they were just apologizing. I was hot as fish grease for a minute. Keep in mind that we were 19, not that that made it okay. But I was like, y'all bitches owe me your life.
If you enjoyed the video, leave a like. And subscribe. We publish new videos every day.